Hello Charlotte, here's Charlotte or Mama Char. Welcome back to a brand new video on this channel. And today's video, we're going to dive deep into the pull of sensitive topics. I know every single video I upload is a sensitive topic, but this is like hands down the most sensitive topic I could ever talk about. I talked about stuff I think this a long time ago, like years back, and of course the traction on my videos at the time were just next to nothing. So I decided why not talk about it now, because I just recently watched a video from Steven Crowder, which I'm subscribed to, by the way. He is a comedy guy, I guess you say, right-wing conservative man who doesn't agree with a lot of things that the LGBTQ community does, but I still subscribe to him because I think he is very funny, and his videos are actually kind of entertaining. I don't subscribe for people's views. I don't subscribe for that unless it's a political channel. Never mind, it is a political channel, but you know what I mean. It's I've never been kind of turned off by people's views on politics or religion, so it's whatever. But he made a recent video that kind of not triggered me, kind of made me want to talk about the subject. Children transitioning. Should children be allowed to transition, and why is this a question? Of course they should. I think that there should be a lot of research done in the subject of children transitioning. The reason why I agree with it is not just because I'm trans, but because I've seen trans kids. I've seen parents taking care of their kids, and the kids being so happy, It's like being an adult and taken away from a kid. You really want to take a kid out of their happiness, and not all the time is it going to be what you guys believe it is. I think in today's age, and in the world in general, everybody has different experiences. This is not just all trans kids are the same. There's so much different. I know there's this thing where there's a lot of kids that grow out of it. It's like, a mental situation. You can grow out of it, but going through things to help cure it is not a big problem, or at least treat it anyways. And gender dysphoria is not curable. It's treatable, and sometimes it'll go away. But there, according to Steve Crowder, he actually said that when kids take hormone blockers, kids don't get out of the transitioning state, or they don't fall out of transitioning later on in life. They continue to go on. Whereas kids that don't, there's about a 70 to 80% ratio of kids that go out of it. There is so much stuff that these people that want to be against kids transitioning. There's so many reasons as to why they want it to happen, or why they shouldn't why kids shouldn't transition. For instance, it sterilizes them. Sometimes, not everybody's meant to have kids in this world. I might sound like an asshole for that, but the reality is your happiness comes first in your life, and at the end of the day, you're going to fall in that grave on your own. You know what I mean? There's always ways to have kids. There's always ways to take care of a child and to be a parent. You don't have to always have your own kids. And do people if you want to go through that kind of experience in your life, then by all means, don't do hormones. You don't have to. But the reality is there are some people that are willing to take that risk to get through that and have to go through that painstaking, quote that they cannot be biological parents. And the problem with that is people believe that people will begin to, regret what they have done. And I'm going to tell you guys something right now. In life, no matter what you do, you're always going to suffer a consequence. Whether you walk down the street tomorrow or you wake up a little bit too early today, there's a consequence for every single action you do. So transitioning is a big consequence. There's a lot of consequences, good things that come out of it and bad things. Everything that you do. To attack someone and say, well, what if they feel this way later on in life? Let them deal with that. Let people that choose to go through the things they go through deal with the hardships they're going to have to go through for it. Don't make people that are the parents, because I hear this a lot, parents are abusing their children because they're letting their children transition. That is a big wrong. I've seen how many kids have actually went on the suicidal rate because their parents don't accept them. How do you tell the kids over there that, they shouldn't transition because this and this and that? Why can't these kids be on T-blockers? Because it affects their body for the rest of their life. Everybody has different situations. It's like saying, why sit there and send this Down syndrome kid to special ed classes? It might affect him and make him or her think that they are dumb. and they're not really as smart as they think they are. The reality is everybody's different. For instance, people that there are some people that have like, now I'm gonna take this into consideration. Asperger's and autism. It's almost like a double-sided condition. Now, I don't know everything there is to know about autism because I don't have autism and I didn't do that much research. But I do know that there are people that are successful in this world that have autism, that have Asperger's syndrome. And there are people that are very much crippled by the situation. Now, in this world, you could either be crippled by your conditions or you can be strengthened by them. And for me, I believe that if you're going to have a condition or you're going to have a situation, you might as well be strong in that situation. There's a lot of people that speak up for people that are going through what they're going through that's very tormenting and could hurt someone in their lives. Not everybody is meant to have kids. If everybody had kids, guys, we would be overpopulated, which we're already now. I'm guessing, it would be worse. There's a reason why there's a population control out there in like certain countries like China. Not everybody can have kids, and that's not a bad thing. Now, obviously, they're sterilizing themselves. They have the potential to have kids, I'm sure, and there's been cases of trans people that have been on hormones for years that still were able to get someone pregnant, or still able to get pregnant. So to sit there and say, oh well, once you take those hormones, you're fucked. It's a total no. I think the way it works is kids. A lot of these right-wing conservatives are sitting here thinking the parents are manipulating the kids into believing that they're the other gender, and that's not the case. I'm not saying that there's never happened, but I guarantee that is not the case. Most of these parents that raise these trans kids don't even want to have a trans kid. They have went through struggles accepting their kid, and they've ended up accepting them and letting them transition. That's how a lot of these stories are. But people are always so concerned about how the parent is treating the kid when the kid just wants to be happy. The people are like, oh, they've been brainwashed to talk like that, or oh, look at the camera like this, and they're being told to say this and that. That's not the case, guys. That's just not the case. There wouldn't be a thing. People are just annoyed with it because transitioning isn't, one, it's not open, and two, it's more political than it needs to be. People make transitioning a political thing, and it should not be a political thing. Why does trans people have to be on the left side? Why do heterosexual people have to be on the right side? Why does it always have to be like this? Because people separate it. People make children transitioning into a political discussion that's not supposed to be a political discussion. It's like, why give this kid this drug because it might affect their child bearing? Everything affects you. You can eat food tomorrow that gives you cancer, and what are you going to do? Attack the food company that gave you cancer? It's the reality of the fact is that everyone's life is geared the way it is. Let people be them. If they regret it, let them regret it themselves. Let whoever was involved to regret it. Don't sit there and try to act like you're the hero by saying, oh, kids shouldn't be transitioning. Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen for the rest of humanity and the rest of life, whether you like it or not. Whether you vote for it to happen or not. Kids are going to transition, and it's getting more and more bigger nowadays. And is there some transgenders? Yes, there is. There are some transgenders. Yes, there are some kids that roll on the boat. And those kids are to be monitored. That's why we have therapists. That's why we have counselors to talk to us about this stuff. If you really cared about your gender, you would really be deep about it. Most kids nowadays, they grow up not even caring about what's between their legs or anything. I'm sure these kids don't feel that way either, but a lot of the kids here, they see both perspectives of what a little girl is and what a little boy is, and they realize that they're not supposed to be on the side that they are on. It's very open. It's like discovering what kind of food you like and what kind of food you don't like. When you're a kid, you are young, and now I know people are probably gonna react to this video talking about all the little things I'm saying and trying to make it a joke, but the reality is, it's not your life. Leave it alone. If they're bothering you, if they're getting in your way of life, then you can say something. But these kids are transitioning just to be happy, to live their life, and if they grow out of it, they can grow out of it. You know what I mean? There's some people on YouTube that have said, I regret transitioning, or this and that, and you know what? Everybody grows out of it. But you go through it, and that's part of life. That's how it works. God knows. What if next year I don't have dysphoria anymore? You know, it's a scary thing for me because it's like a double-edged sword for me. Like, I want to have dysphoria because it helps me feel like me. Because if it wasn't for the dysphoria, I'd be happy being a boy, and that's me. Knowing me now, I could never go back. But I'm telling you guys right now, I know it's real in kids because I've had science since I was 5 years old. I just didn't know I didn't know how to represent it. I didn't know how to talk about it. Everybody has different levels in which they feel that way. Some really feel like they want to transition. Some feel like maybe a little bit, maybe they could wait. Everybody's different. So the end of this video, everybody is basically different. So if you guys have anything to talk about, let's have a discussion in the comment section. Let's talk about this whole situation. What do you guys think? Because, I mean, we all have our opinions, all our rights to opinions. So, yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did, leave it a like. If you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And please ring that notification bell down below if you guys want to be notified every time I upload a video on YouTube or go live on YouTube. Also, if you guys can, go donate to my GoFundMe. That will help me out. That will be linked in the description as well below. Buy my book if you guys haven't bought it to support me as well. That's in the description down below as well. So follow my social media links down in the description below as well. I love you guys. Lots of cheer shots, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.